What is this aluminum cage that comes apart into two pieces and latches closed? We found this in a friend's grandmother's kitchen, and no one in the family recognizes it or knows what it is. There's no writing on it and the size of a small ham. We thought perhaps it was a microphone cover, but there is no hole for cords. What is this thing? This is a 1960s stuffing cage for turkeys. Designed in two pieces that you can click together to hold stuffing and other flavorings to enhance your bird and keep your stuffing together for quick and easy recovery after the bird is cooked. What is this wooden acorn-shaped container with triangular holes? I found this wooden object on a street in rural southern Germany as a child and have kept it in our garden ever since. It's a hollow acorn-shaped container, intricately carved from wood. It is approximately the size of a human fist, and there are a bunch of rough objects inside. I've tried searching online, but I haven't had much luck identifying it. Does anyone know what this could be used for, or what it might be called? It's a carved Brazil nut pod, a souvenir from Brazil. I have one identical that my grandfather brought home in the 60s. And here's another one brought from South America by a British sailor during the 1930s. What is this interesting binding in a book that I bought at an estate sale? I bought a collection of books, and I was wondering what's the purpose of the spine. Any ideas? I was able to find two similar books. It's the Army Regulations for the United States Army from 1938 through 1951. I have a similar binding for a New York City firefighter's manual from the early 1900s. In the case of the one I have, it's so that pages can be removed and replaced when they change rules. The individual pages are punched similar to a disc-bound book. The straps are then pushed into the slots on the pages, and the ratchet mechanism in the cover pulls the straps tight and uses compression to keep the pages from falling out. I also looked up the owner of the book. He was a corporal in the US Army. He lived in Salt Lake City and died in the Vietnam War in 1968. He is on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, Panel 40W, Line 1. I found this very heavy cast iron cylinder in a creek bed in Missouri. Around 16 inches long, it weighs approximately 20 pounds, hollow but very rusted. So hard to tell if hollow all the way through the tapered tip. It has a flat side, like it sat upon something. It was found in an area known for Civil War artifacts. Because of its proximity to the abandoned railroad, I keep wondering if it could be a train part. Any idea what it could be for? It's a cast iron axle skein from an old buggy or other wooden wagon. It was patented by Robert L. Finley of Bonham, Texas, on August 11, 1896. What is this handheld lathed wooden object from an estate sale? The crossbar is adjustable with a metal pin. No maker marks or wear marks I can identify. A friend suggested a distaff used for spinning thread. I'm actually a textile historian, so I would have been able to spot spinning gear. Any idea what its purpose is? It's an antique tabletop adjustable candle holder, but it looks like only the cross arm is original. The other parts look like a basement woodshop project. Here's a similar candle holder from the 19th century. What is this brass folding tool found with all sorts of other tools I bought as a lot from an old barn on a dairy farm? It is hinged, approximately 6.5 inches long, and it comes with a small oval piece. Any insights would be appreciated. It's called a pelican hook for a sailboat's lifelines usually, designed so that it can be opened with one hand for boarding or leaving the boat. And whenever you have something you need to quickly release like a towing line or to drop a mooring in larger sizes. They are sometimes called a quick release, more generically. What is this musical device about 2 feet long with 30 scaled brass or bronze bells? They're struck by levered wooden hammers and dampered with felt pads on release. No keyboard. It seems quite old, probably 100 plus years, and the wooden frame may be made of walnut. Any ideas? It's an antique organ carillon, probably a display model, or it would have been part of a church organ. Carillons are rows of bells with a mechanism of levers or keys to play them. The bells are cast in bronze, hung in fixed suspension, and tuned in chromatic order so that they can be sounded harmoniously together. The origins of the carillon can be traced to the Low Countries, present-day Belgium, the Netherlands, and the French Netherlands in the 16th century. According to counts by various registries, there are about 700 carillons worldwide. Most are in and around the Low Countries. What is this round cast iron container found half buried in a backyard in Vermont? Around 200 to 300 pounds, a pencil to scale on the second image. May have been used as a fire pit in the past, and maybe this was previously hung and used for sugaring. It was a great mosquito hatchery. It has always been filled with water, and I was thinking of drilling a hole and using it as a fire pit. Now that I have it up, I realize it is not flat-bottomed and it's really deep. I don't want to poke a hole in it if it is some historical artifact. Can anyone help identify this? It's a 19th century potash kettle. One can still see cast iron potash kettles around the countryside. This one is still in my family. They were used for watering livestock when I was growing up on the farm. The potash industry had a significant influence on the economy of the American colonies and the young United States until around the time of the Civil War. Potash, a chemical compound containing water-soluble potassium, has been used for over 1,000 years for processes ranging from making soap and glass to fertilizing crops and even producing saltpeter for gunpowder. On the 10th of April 1790, Congress passed the first Patent Act, and Samuel Hopkins was awarded the very first patent on the 31st of July of the same year, which was for an improved process for making potash. It was signed by George Washington and Edmund Randolph. Can anyone help me identify this jar with a mousetrap thing on it? My friend found it in his old house. He found it on his garage, I believe, and it seems like the mousetrap thing has a small mallet head that would hit the jar. Any ideas? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.